Episode 4 Splinters in the Pride. The swamp was alive that night, a symphony of frogs, crickets, and the distant splash of fish breaking the water's surface. But at Rhino's hog farm, silence reigned. The tension among the Mapogo was as heavy as the humid Louisiana air. Lion sat on an overturned crate in the barn, his elbows on his knees, his head bowed. He had called the meeting to address the fallout from the judge's death. Around him, the other Mapogo stood in a loose circle, their faces shadowed and grim. "We've always operated as a unit," Lion said, his voice low and steady. "That's why we survived this long. But Cobra's actions put all of us, and everything we've built, in danger." Cobra, leaning against the wall with his arms crossed, sneered, "I took out one of the biggest criminals in the parish. You should be thanking me." Panther, ever the mediator, stepped forward. "This ain't about the judge, Cobra. It's about trust. You went rogue. You ignored orders. That can't happen again." Cobra's eyes narrowed, the defiance in his posture unmistakable. Maybe orders ain't always right. The tension in the room snapped like a taut rope. Lion rose slowly, his piercing gaze locked on Cobra. "This not a debate," Lion said, his voice cold. "We not like them. We don't kill for pride or revenge. We do what we do to protect the people who can't protect themselves. If you can't see that, you don't belong here." Cobra pushed off the wall, his body coiled like a spring. "Maybe I don't." Panther Andre. Panther Dupree was the second oldest of the group, and in many ways Lion's equal. Where Lion was the strategist, Panther was the tactician, quick thinking and resourceful in the heat of battle. Panther had grown up in a close-knit family, but tragedy struck when his older brother was killed in a drive-by shooting. The police had written it off as gang violence, but Panther knew better. His brother had been an innocent man caught in the crossfire of a turf war. The injustice burned in Panther's chest, and when Lion approached him years later with the idea of the Mapogo, he didn't hesitate. Panther saw it as a chance to make sure no one else suffered the way his family had. He earned his nickname for his agility and his ability to move unseen, his black clothing blending seamlessly into the shadows. But his greatest strength was his loyalty to Lion, to the group, and to their cause. The fallout after the meeting, the Mapogo dispersed, each member retreating to their own thoughts. Lion stayed behind, leaning on the fence of the hog pen, his eyes scanning the horizon. Panther joined him, his presence quiet but grounding. "He's not wrong, you know," Panther said after a long silence. "The judge was a problem, but Cobra, he's reckless. He doesn't see the bigger picture." Lion sighed, rubbing the back of his neck. "He's angry, I get it. But anger doesn't win wars, it just gets people killed." Panther nodded. "You think he'll leave?" Lion's jaw tightened. "If he does, we'll have more than the cops to worry about. He knows too much." Cobra's departure. Cobra didn't wait to be kicked out. That night, he packed a bag and left the farm, the weight of Lion's judgment heavy on his shoulders. He didn't look back as he walked down the dirt road, the moonlight casting his shadow long and thin. But Cobra wasn't done fighting. He had his own ideas about how to clean up the streets, and he wasn't going to let Lion or anyone else stop him. The new threat. Meanwhile, the Mapogo faced a new challenge. The judge's death had left a power vacuum, and rival gangs were scrambling to fill it. One gang in particular, the Black Mambas, had already begun staking their claim. The Mambas were ruthless. Their leader, a man known only as Venom, rumored to have a kill count that rivaled the judge's. Venom had no interest in alliances or subtlety. His goal was domination, and he didn't care who got in his way. The Mapogo learned of Venom's rise through Turtle's network of informants. "We need to take him out before he consolidates power," Panther said during their next meeting. Lion shook his head. "We can't just go in guns blazing. If we do, we know better than Cobra." "Then what's the plan?" Turtle asked. Lion's eyes darkened. "We find his weakness. Everyone has one. Cobra's revenge." Unbeknownst to the Mapogo, Cobra had already made contact with Venom. He saw the Black Mambas as a way to continue his fight against crime, on his own terms. But Venom wasn't interested in justice. He saw Cobra as a tool, a weapon to be used and discarded. When Cobra realized the truth, it was too late. Venom had orchestrated a plan to eliminate the Mapogo, using Cobra as bait, the trap. The Mapogo received word of a shipment of weapons being delivered to the Black Mambas. It was the perfect opportunity to cripple their operation. But when they arrived at the docks, they found nothing but empty crates and a message scrawled on the wall. The Mapogo die tonight. Before they could react, gunfire erupted from the shadows. The Mapogo scattered, taking cover behind shipping containers as bullets whizzed past them. Lion quickly assessed the situation. "It's a trap! Fall back!" But the Mambas had them surrounded. Epilogue. The Mapogo managed to escape, but not without casualties. Turtle took a bullet to the leg, and Panther barely made it out alive. As they regrouped at the hog farm, Lion's mind raced. The Mambas were a threat unlike any they'd faced before, and now they had Cobra working against them. "We need to end this," Lion said, his voice steely. Panther nodded, his face grim. One way or another. But as they prepared for the battle ahead, a question lingered in Lion's mind. Could Cobra be saved, or was he lost to them forever?